Hi, in this video I will share with you how to compute the annual growth rate that you need to achieve the net worth target that you have set for yourself. I've broken down the explanation into three tables. In the first table, as a simple illustration, let's assume that you have a fixed deposit that you have decided to keep for 5 years and the interest rate is at 1.5%. So here I fill up the 1.5% interest rate that you will receive on your FD, and assuming that current year you have $1 and in the first year you are going to achieve an additional 1.5% on that $1. So this formula basically says that $1 multiplied by additional of 1.015, and in this first year you will get 1.015, and subsequently your FD amount is going to be compounded on top of the interest that you have achieved, and at the end of year 5 you will get 1.077 for every dollar that you have put into the FD at the current year. Alright, so now let's say instead of 1.5%, I'm going to put a 2%. Assuming for a longer FD, you will get an additional percentage points on your FD. So let's say it's a 2%, and at year 5, you will get 1.104 instead of 1.077 in your 1.5% illustration earlier. And let's say assuming you get a 10% return on your investment, at the end of year 5 you will achieve $1.611 for every $1 that you have achieved. So basically what I'm trying to explain here is that the higher the interest or annual growth rate that you have every year, and the effect of compounding interest or growth rate is going to increase your end target net worth much more significantly than you could expect. So now, moving on to the second table, based on the understanding on the first table, I'm going to show you how do you actually come up with the formula that you need to use to compute your annual growth rate in Excel. Okay, so now net worth target formula is basically your current net worth multiplied by your additional annual growth rate to the power of the number of years that you are targeting to achieve your final net worth. Okay, and in order for you to finally get the annual growth rate, I'm going to do some mathematical solution over here. I'll just briefly run you through this. So from this first row, move this current net worth down here, and this is what you see, net worth target divided by current net worth, and over here is just going to just maintain in the first side of the equation. The next thing that I will need to do is moving out this power sign out to the other side of the equation. So this will be 1 divided by number of years, and this is the power of this equation over here. Okay, and the annual growth rate eventually will be the final, this portion that you see over here, and basically your +1 over here is moved here to a -1. Okay, so in the simplified algebra formula, it's going to be your growth rate equals to your target net worth divided by your current net worth to the power of 1 divided by the number of years -1. Okay, so now I'll move on to the table 3. This is basically the numerical illustration based on the formulas that we have here. And in my previous video, the example that I gave was assuming that you have 100K and your net worth target is 1 million. And the number of years that you want to achieve this 1 million is in another 20 years. So I have already put in the abbreviation C, T, N, and G over here. So basically this formula is the same as the one that have been captured over here. It will be your target divided by your current net worth to the power of 1 divided by the number of years, and this entire thing will be minus by 1. Okay, using this formula, it shows that your annual growth rate that you need to have for you to be able to come from 100K to $1 million in 20 years is 12.2%. Okay, this may seem like a lot, really, because our fixed deposit is only 1.5 to 2% maybe, and some of the investments or let's say dividends that you get from your share investment is going to be max maybe 5 to 6%. So 12% is a lot, right? So here I have another illustration down here whereby what I'm trying to illustrate to you is as an employee in Malaysia, we have the EPF contributions that actually help us in accumulating our net worth over the years, and this amount will be used upon retirement. So here we go. So let's say your salary, your gross salary is 4K, okay, and employer EPF contribution is 13%. So this would be a 13% on your gross salary. And remember, your salary is also deducted every single month at about 11%. This is the employee EPF contribution. If you have not known this, then like Bob, your salary is actually deducted every month. So this is 11% on your gross salary. Okay, and every month this amount will be added into your EPF account balances by your employer on a monthly basis. So this is 960 ringgit every month, and your annual contribution is going to be at 11.5K. Okay, and let's say I'm calculating the EPF contribution impact on your current net worth at the current year. So this 11.5K on your 100K current net worth is going to be 11.5%. Since it's going to be easy to achieve the 12.2% because your EPF contributions contributed a big chunk of it, so let's be more aggressive. Okay, so instead of achieving 1 million in 20 years time, let's go for 2 million in 20 years time. This would mean you will need to achieve 16.2% annual growth rate, and this is a 4.6% on top of your EPF contribution impact. Okay, so basically you have to find additional avenue to gain this 4.6%. It could be your spending less than your earnings, your investments, which could come from many different forms, shares, unit trusts, etc. So at the end of the day, do have this table set up in your net worth computation tracking. Okay, this would really help you to navigate your two inputs here, the net worth target as well as number of years, you could just tweak, right? If let's say you want to retire early, you have lesser number of years until retirement or etc., you can just tweak the number of years that you want over here. So let's go back to 1 million, and let's say you want to retire early, you want to do it in 10 years. So the annual growth rate that you need is at 25.9%. So you can just tweak accordingly these two inputs over here, so that you could really see how much that you can actually achieve. But please set reasonable targets and annual growth rate, so that you don't stress yourself up too much, and it is something that is achievable over time. Okay, that's all I have for this video. I hope you find it useful. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share to your family and friends who might find it useful. See you next time.